It's time for Brownsburg varsity basketball on 1610 AM XRB and AudioSportsOnline.com. Tonight's game is brought to you by Nelson Jewelers, Ivy Tech, West Side Plumbing, the Payroll Department, State Farm Agent Pete Fay, and Internet Tech Specialist. Brownsburg Bulldogs basketball on 1610 AM XRB is an AudioSportsOnline.com production. Now let's go courtside for tonight's game. It's cold outside, but here at Avon High School at the Arena, we expect to see hopefully some hot basketball as the Hendricks County Tournament tips off tonight, and we have game one for you. The Brownsburg Bulldogs taking on the Plainfield Quakers tonight on 1610 AM XRB and on AudioSportsOnline.com. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Bulldogs and Quakers basketball on XRB and ASO. My name's Brian Scott. I'll be joined in just a few minutes by Mr. Christopher Worley. Both teams are coming in off of losses in their last outings. For the Quakers, you have to go back to December 30th when they fell to Perry Meridian, and they lost that game by the score of 75-63. Nathan Mills, he had a good night that night, but for the Quakers, it was simply too many turnovers, over 20 in that contest. Like I said, Nathan Mills, he had a good game. Nathan finished with 24 points. Max Kurkowski finished with 16 points, but it was just simply too many turnovers for the Quakers to overcome, and eventually Perry Meridian pulled away in that contest to send the Quakers to their seventh defeat to only 2 victories on the season. For the Brownsburg Bulldogs, they come in ranked 12th in Class 4A with a record of 8-3, but they are also coming off of a loss Saturday night to the Pike Red Devils by the score of 65-54. KJ Walton, he was very good that night, 26 points, but there really wasn't much help from the rest of the Bulldogs, and in the end, the defense proved to be a little bit sloppy on the night, and Pike Red Devils had their way on the inside, and they come away with the victory. We want to apologize to everybody tonight that we do not have video for this game due to technical difficulties, but we do have audio for you, and we're glad you could join. I bring in my broadcast partner, Christopher Worley. And, Chris, you were at Pike in watching that matchup, and for a team that has been very, very good defensively, Bulldogs had a few problems Saturday night.
Yeah, they did. Of course, Pike presents a lot of challenges. They're very long, athletic, and for a change in a Brownsburg opposition or a Brownsburg opponent, if you will, somebody that can match them in speed. Pike very fast. Darian Ringo, the fine point guard for Brownsburg, wasn't able to dominate a lot of games with his defense and speed the way he normally does. Pike could keep up with them on speed. Those are the kinds of teams Broad Ripple has trouble with. Now tonight I see that speed and athleticism as an advantage for the Bulldogs over Plainfield tonight. We expect Darian Ringo to be a disruptor on defense out there at the point and on defense and getting some steals and runouts, and of course KJ will use his speed and athleticism too. So what was an equalizer with Pike should be an advantage here tonight as far as speed for Brownsburg.
This matchup will feature a couple of swingmen that are both very accomplished here in Central Indiana. For the Bulldogs, KJ Walton, well, he's an Indiana Junior All-Star, but an up-and-coming swingman happens to reside over on the other bench for the Plainfield Quakers. Sophomore Nathan Mills comes in. He averages 16 points per game, but don't let that stat fool you. He's scored multiple 20-plus point games, upwards of almost 30 points. He has 5 rebounds per game, but where you're going to see a dynamic twosome out on the court tonight with the Bulldogs' KJ Walton and Nathan Mills, both excellent swingmen. The difference, it might be that Nathan Mills, as a sophomore, he might be a little bit better defender, especially when it comes to shot blocking. Mills is averaging almost 3 blocks per game. And, Chris, when we take a look at this matchup, 2 excellent swingmen. They're both leading their respective teams in scoring, and it should be a good matchup.
Yeah, that is. 2 very good players, both key, of course, top performers, MVP-type performers on their teams. Of course, with KJ, he's becoming an Indiana All-Star right now candidate, and even the Stars mentioned him as a Mr. Basketball candidate. But, of course, for Plainfield, Nathan Mills doing a great job scoring just over 16 points a game, and he is second on the team in rebounding. Nathan is going to be tested tonight because he's going to have to help bring the ball up the court against Brownsburg's pressure defense. You know, Plainfield has several people that can do that, but he's going to have to help out. Brownsburg's definitely going to do a press and put a lot of defensive pressure, so Nathan's going to be a key ball handling person for the Quakers tonight, which he can do.
The difference probably between both of these two teams, between Plainfield in Brownsburg. Plainfield, a couple of nice players, very good players. We just mentioned sophomore Nathan Mills, junior forward Max Kurkowski. He's averaging a little over 10.7 rebounds per game. A good-sized forward. He does like to shoot the ball from the perimeter, but he can get inside. He'll get some rebounds, and he could pose some tough matchups for Brownsburg, especially for Jordash Mavunga and Landon Hall, who normally are going to be a little bit more in the down low. But the biggest difference between these two teams happens to be at point guard, and where the Plainfield Quakers are still searching for somebody that can give them some good minutes at point, the Bulldogs have an excellent point guard in Darian Ringo. Let's quickly set up the starting lineups for tonight's game. The visiting team will be the Brownsburg Bulldogs. There in the black uniforms with the purple lettering and white trim, and it will be Plainfield with the white jerseys, red numerals, and black trim. We'll start with the Plainfield Quakers. Their head coach is Andy Weaver. He is 12-39 in his third year at the helm of the Quakers. His starting lineup will have at a guard a 5'10 senior Kyler Nichols. At the other guard is a 5'11 senior Mark Dahm II. As the swing man, a 6'5 sophomore Nathan Mills. Max Kurkowski will be at 1'4", a 6'6 junior. And the others at center, actually, a 6'5 sophomore Connor Brenz. So the backcourt for the Quakers will be Nichols and Dahm, and up front, Kurkowski, Mills, and Brenz. That's the starting five for the Plainfield Quakers. And before we get into the Brownsburg Bulldogs lineup, we're going to have our national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please rise and remove your hands as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
That's your national anthem. Let's give you the starting lineup for the Brownsburg Bulldogs. The head coach is Steve Lynch. He's 29-6 in his second year at Brownsburg. His starting lineup, fairly familiar. Starting at a guard is a 6'2 senior Darian Ringo. At the other guard is a 6'2 junior Tyler Kurtz. At forward, a 6'3 senior KJ Walton. The other forward is a 6'3 sophomore Landon Hall. So the backcourt for Coach Lynch of the Bulldogs will have Ringo and Kurtz, and up front Mavunga, Walton, and Hall. Those are your starting five for the Brownsburg Bulldogs. This is game one of the Hendricks County Tournament. Game two will follow this one. That will be the Tri-West Bruins taking on the Avon Orioles. It was Cascade and Danville waiting to play the winners of these two games that will take place here at Avon on Monday. The Cascade Cadets will await the winner of this contest, while the Danville Warriors will face the winner of our nightcap between Tri-West and Avon. So, Chris, we should have, on paper, the Bulldogs might be termed the favorites in this tournament, but Tri-West comes in with a record of 7-0. Danville also comes in with a very, very respectable record, and this could be a very interesting tournament.
Oh, I think so, Brian. Really good field this year. Certainly Brownsburg would have to be rated as the favorite. Tri-West undefeated, Navy number 2, Danville, like you said, 9-1, number 3. But those are three very good basketball teams. The coach is doing a good job right here at the midway point, almost the midway point of the season. So this is a big deal to these kids. You know, Brownsburg won this last year, and it kind of surprised me when they won it how big a deal it was and how happy the players were. But they hadn't won this county championship for a while, so whoever comes out on top, it means a lot to the kids and the coaching staff.
Again, we apologize for not being, for those of you watching via Audio Sports Online, we are unable to bring you video of tonight's game due to some technical difficulties. We apologize for that, but this game still will be archived, and you'll be able to listen to it via audiosportsonline.com. Also want to thank those you Plainfield fans watching or listening tonight via Audio Sports Online, and of course you Bulldog fans via 1610 AM XRB in Brownsburg and on the web at xrbradio.com. We are at Avon High School, the home of the Avon Orioles, who will be playing in tonight's second contest. A big shout out and thanks to Avon Athletic Director Brad Holzinger and the fine folks here at Avon, who always do a very good job in hosting these events. So we appreciate their help tonight. Chris, what do you think we're looking at tonight?
Well, just a couple keys to the game. I noted before this game, of course, we're a little familiar with both these squads here, but for Plainfield, they're going to have to take good care of the basketball, avoid turnovers. They're really going to have to help each other against this Brownsburg pressure defense. Try to create some good passing lanes and avoid dribbling or moving into those trap areas that Brownsburg likes to use. Also, of course, for them to pull the upset, they're going to have to shoot a high percentage, both from the field and from three-point range. And I think on defense for Plainfield, KJ's going to get his points. He has against everybody this year, the big teams included. If they can stop some of the others, slow down Jordash Mavunga and some of the others, they have a good chance. For Brownsburg, of course, create turnovers off their pressure defense and get some scoring other than KJ Walton. But here we go, Brian.
Jordash Mavunga will jump center for the Bulldogs. He will go against Nathan Mills. Ball is in the air, and the tap is controlled by the Plainfield Quakers, who move left to right in this contest to begin the game, as Mark Dahm will bring it into the front court for Plainfield, and they will look over a man-to-man defense by the Bulldogs as they try to get the ball into Max Kurkowski. Ball's on the floor, and finally it's corralled by by KJ Walton, who hands it off to Darian Ringo. And one of the keys that we said before this game, limiting turnovers, and the Plainfield Quakers have a turnover on their first possession.
Quakers going to start in the zone defense here, a 2-3 zone against Brownsburg.
Dribbling the basketball between the circles, Darian Ringo goes right side, gives it to Tyler Kurtz, back to Ringo, left wing, down low, Landon Hall in the low post. Shot might have been partially blocked by Nathan Mills, and Brenz comes away with it. He'll give it to Kyler Nichols.
That was a different offensive look for Brownsburg. They actually posted up Landon Hall down on the low blocks, just couldn't get it to fall.
Bulldog fans are used to seeing Hall out in the corners, but as Chris mentioned, down in the low post, that's where the Bulldogs go, and now we'll have a traveling violation as Nathan Mills with the ball out on the wing. Before he could get the ball over to Mark Dahm, he shuffled the feet. And for the Quakers, back-to-back possessions end up in back-to-back turnovers. No score, a minute into this contest here at the O-Arena, the tip-off of the Hendricks County Tournament. They'll send the ball to Tyler Kurtz, left wing three, on its way and good.
Tyler Kurtz, a big three-point shot there. He came into this game hitting a few three-pointers, but not a good percentage. He is right now 4 out of 15 from three-point range.
3-0 Bulldogs as the Quakers still looking to get a shot on the up. In their first two possessions, they were 2 turnovers. Quakers will move it around, and now they'll throw it away, but it'll be an over and back violation as Max Kurkowski threw it into the backcourt. They were hoping it went off of a Bulldog, but when Kyler Nichols touched it in the backcourt, they called an over and back. So 3 possessions and 3 turnovers for the Quakers.
If Brownsburg defense steals it from you and creates a turnover, that's one thing, but you cannot be giving away the ball like that to Brownsburg.
3-0 is our score. Bulldogs come in ranked 12th. They dropped 3 spots after that loss to Pike on Saturday, as the Bulldogs now come into this game with a record of 8-3. KJ Walton is cut off as the Bulldogs move the ball around the perimeter. And they'll get it in the hands of Jordash Mavunga. He'll go baseline, a little ball fake, blocked from behind by Connor Brenz, but gets the ball back, and Mavunga puts it up and in, and the Bulldogs are out in front, 5-0.
I think Connor Brenz for Plainfield's an important part of this game. The sophomore, 6'5", he needs to do a good job down low, get some rebounds, stay out of foul trouble, create a little offense when he can. Connor Brenz for Plainfield.
Nathan Mills with the basketball on the perimeter. Quakers still looking for their first shot of the game. They've gone 3 possessions, and as we mentioned, turned it over 3 times. Here's Kurkowski, right wing, gives up top to Dahm, swings around left side to Mills, gets a ball screen, And now loses the basketball on a steal. Here comes Darian Ringo, drives right hand off the glass, but left it short off the rim, and Dahm has the rebound for the Quakers. Brownsburg leading 5-0 as we approach the 5-minute mark here in quarter number 1. Nathan Mills with the ball at the left wing, picks up his dribble, lobs it into Brenz, but throws it over his head, and another turnover gives the ball back to the Bulldogs.
5 for 5, 5 possessions without a good shot at the basket here, 5 turnovers. Plainfield's got to stop that immediately.
Bringing across the timelines, Ringo. He'll go right side to Kurtz, who gives it to Mavunga down in the corner, and the Bulldogs switch the ball around. Bulldogs moving right to left here in this first half. Hall down into the blocks. Here's K.J. Walton from about 10 feet. His shot no good. Dahm clears the rebound for the Quakers. They trail by 5, still looking for their first points. This is their first shot of the game as Kurkowski's 3 from the corner hits off the side of the iron, and the Bulldogs get the rebound, and quickly into the front court is Darian Ringo. Ringo lobs it to Hall in the corner, down to Mavunga in the post. Mavunga, ball fake, blocked from behind by Nathan Mills, but it went off of a Quaker, and Nathan Mills, as we said, he is a shot blocker for the Quakers, and he and K.J. Walton share a lot of similarities, but that might be one of Mills' strength, is the ability to block shots.
Plainfield going to stay in that 2-3 zone.
Ringo,
they may be on a man-to-man out of this inbounds.
Ringo gives it to Walton, back to Darian, left wing, and they do stay in the 2-3 zone as Walton has it between the circles left side as the Bulldogs moving the ball around. Now KJ, dribble drive into the lane, shot off the back iron, no good. Mills clears the rebound for the Quakers. 5-0 Bulldogs, 3:56 left to go first quarter. Here is Kurkowski's 3 is short. Mavunga with a rebound. Bulldogs have numbers, bounce pass to Hall, and Hall won't get the bucket, but we'll have our first whistle and foul of the contest. Actually, the basket was good. And credit Landon Hall with the basket, and the foul is on Connor Brenz, his first, team first.
Same 2 shots for Plainfield. They're 2 shots of the game. Max Kurkowski from three-point range in the corner. Max came in shooting just 21% from three-point range, unable to get his first 2 shots in. Good drive and a nice bounce pass assist from Jordash into Landon Hall, and have the free throw.
Hall's free throw is good. He converts the 3-point play, and the Bulldogs are up 8-0. Substitutions as Bryson Ellis comes in for Mark Dahm, and Dalton Vachon comes in for Tyler Kurtz. 8-0 is the Bulldogs' advantage. Quakers' only 2 shots have come from Kurkowski, and here's another steal as Ringo will take it, lay it up, and that's about all Andy Weaver, the head coach of the Quakers, wants to see. He's going to call a quick 30-second timeout as the Bulldogs have now raced out to a 10-0 lead.
Yeah, that's what we expect from Brownsburg. You know, Darian hangs around out there at the high slot position or top of the key, just waiting to get a turnover and a run out, and he certainly got it there. Since he has been injured, Darian set out about 2-3 games with a high ankle sprain. We have seen no problems with that ankle since his return to the Bulldogs lineup.
Coach Andy Weaver talking over things with his team, and we've watched the Quakers play this season as their record states 2-7. They've not played their best basketball. They had a very, very nice game against Terre Haute North, and when they can keep the turnovers down, the Quakers can be rather effective offensively, but they do have a penchant for turning the ball over. They are not a particularly good 3-shooting team outside of Max Kurkowski and maybe Reese Crawford. They really like to get the ball down low, and when they can do it without turning the ball over, they've been successful. But right now they find themselves trailing 10-0. Ellis, long, loud pass to Brenz. Brenz's shot is no good, and they're getting the rebound, and the loose ball was Max Kurkowski, and he has the first 2 points for the Quakers.
Yeah, good rebound on the weak side there. Max got it back up and in. Connor Brenz just found himself a little too underneath the basket to get that up successfully. Here's KJ from the corner.
KJ's 3 off the iron, no good. Mavunga with a rebound, and he'll back it up. He'll give it to Hall. Hall looking at Vachon, posted up down low. They have Nathan Mills working in the center position down on the low blocks.
After that Pike game, Jordash Mavunga has become Brownsburg's leading rebounder.
Landon Hall's 3 is no good off the rim. It is Kurkowski with the rebound. They give it to Nichols down low into the corner to Ellis, and now here's a nice find. Kurkowski finds Connor Brenz underneath. Brenz gets the bucket, and this time it is head coach Steve Lynch that is going to call the 30-second timeout as he's watched a couple of defensive laps down low, which were problems the Bulldogs had against the Red Devils.
Yeah, good feed there. Max saw Connor Brenz underneath the basket. Connor worked himself into a good open slot right under the basket, got the pass from Max and able to convert the two-point layup. That was a good basket by Plainfield. That's what they're going to need to do here. Be patient, get some good shots. Nathan Mills hasn't got a good look at the basket yet on offense, I don't think, Brian.
No, he really hasn't been able to. For the Quakers, it's really been a problem of not turning the ball over. They really haven't been able to get Mills into the offense at all. But it's a 10-4, Bulldogs advantage with 2:25 left to go in a fast-moving first quarter. Bulldogs with the basketball. They'll look over this zone employed by the Quakers, which now has a 1-3-1 look to it.
Yeah, with Nathan at the top there in his long arms, I kind of like that. He may be able to get a steal on a side-to-side pass.
Here's Walton, long-range three in the corner, no good. One and done for the Bulldogs as into the lineup now for the Quakers is Keegan Motter. Here is Kurkowski for three. That's off the side of the rim. Actually, it was not Max Kurkowski. That was Bryson Ellis. The three from the corner was off the side of the rim, but they'll say it went off of a Bulldog, and it will remain into the hands of the ball will remain with the Quakers as Kurkowski will take it out from the side in the corner, looking for somebody to get the ball into, and he looks down low. He had Keegan Motter cutting to the basket, but disrupting it was Darian Ringo, but the ball will stay down here with the Quakers as Kurkowski will just go to the other side of the floor to trigger the inbounds.
Yeah, Bryson Ellis has been able to shoot the three a little bit for Plainfield. Came into this game 5 out of 12, so all in all, not a bad shot there. Just need some open shots, see if he can get Nathan the ball here.
They do get the ball into Brenz, who will give it back to Kurkowski on the wing. Bulldogs showing his own, and now we have a whistle and a traveling violation. Another turnover committed by the Quakers, this time Max Kurkowski, and ball goes back into the hands of the Bulldogs, up by 6 with 1:45 left to go in this first quarter. Ringo kicks it out to KJ. KJ out of the right wing, goes back to Ringo. Darian lobs it in all alone. Landon Hall, he missed the shot though, and they'll say it went off of Connor Brenz. Landon Hall's not going to find an easier shot all night than that one, but he left it a little short. And then Brenz tapped it out of bounds, so Ringo will trigger the inbound from the baseline.
And again, Landon was posted up down on the block right underneath the basket. Got a good shot. He needs to go up a little bit stronger with those, Brian.
Ringo with the basketball, left wing, and he'll back it up now. He'll give it to Kurtz between the circles. Tyler back to Darian. Three ball from the left wing is on its way, off the glass and in.
Darian Ringo, a rare three, was able to bank that in off the glass. Ringo came into this game shooting just 17% from three-point range, but got that one.
5 points for Ringo, a 9-point lead for the Bulldogs as we approach a minute left in this fast-moving first quarter. Nathan Mills, top of the key between the circles, working on Dalton Vachon, turnaround jumper from the right elbow, rims out. Vachon with a rebound, but gives it right back up to Connor Brenz, and Brenz is going to be fouled from behind by Landon Hall.
Yeah, Dalton got his hands on that, but just kind of fell back and lost it. And then Brenz able to recover and draw the foul against Brownsburg. He'll be at the line. Connor Brenz.
Foul goes against Hall, his first. And at the line will be Connor Brenz, who has one field goal in this contest. And that free throw rims out. Substitutions as Jordash Mavunga comes in for Landon Hall. And Mark Daum comes in. He will take over for Max Kurkowski.
Brenz, a 67% foul shooter coming into this game.
More substitutions now as KJ will depart as Michael Folks will enter the lineup for the Bulldogs. 13-4, Bulldogs with the advantage. Connor Brenz with one more free throw attempt on the way, and he sinks it, so he splits the free throws. And it's an 8-point Bulldog lead with 47 seconds left to go in this first quarter.
Not sure if Brownsburg will hold for one shot here to end the quarter, but they have been awful patient on offense so far in this game.
They get the ball to Mavunga in the corner, back out to Kurtz, to Folks between the circles. Right side, Darian Ringo, ball fake, drives in the lane. Reverse little scoop is up and in.
Very quick, got past all the Plainfield defenders, right to the rim, reverse scoop up and in for Darian Ringo.
Ringo has 7 of the Bulldogs' 15 points. It's a 10-point Bulldog lead with 20 seconds left. Keegan Motter picks up his dribble at the right wing, sends it to Brenz, and now this one's stolen as Brenz was going to send it back to Motter. Darian in the passing lane. He was on his way to the other end of the court, but a whistle and a foul will stop play as the Quakers, Connor Brenz picks up foul number 2, second team foul against Plainfield. Substitutions as Anthony Bolin comes in. He'll take over for Connor Brenz for the Plainfield Quakers. 15-5, Bulldogs with the lead. 13 seconds remain in this first quarter.
I think that's Ringo's third steal of the game already. Came in with 21 on the season.
6 seconds, 5 seconds, 3 ball from Ringo on the way and good. All Darian Ringo as the clock shows zeros and time has expired in quarter number 1. Bulldogs lead the Quakers 18-5. Back in a moment. This is basketball, high school basketball on ASL.
If you're a business owner, with or without employees, you're probably wondering about your payroll. Is it being prepared correctly? Are the right amount of taxes being taken out? What about child support, workman's comp, auditing, unemployment, Social Security, local taxes, payroll deductions? It can be a bit overwhelming, but we've got the answer for you. The Payroll Department Incorporated. We'll take care of all those payroll headaches and manage any unique deductions that apply to your company. We offer several ways to submit your payroll and provide you with customized timesheets for reporting. The Payroll Department Incorporated, located at 701 North Green Street in Brownsburg.
Does Wings Etc. have great wings? Sure, but wait, there's more. So much more than award-winning jumbo wings. Stop past our new location in Plainfield at 1818 East Main Street, just west of Kroger, and you'll get a great big taste of what the Etc. and Wings Etc. is all about. You can call 406-3250 to place your to-go order today. That's Wings Etc. at 1818 East Main Street in Plainfield.
What is a good neighbor? Well, it's someone nearby who helps make your life a little easier, and that's State Farm agent Pete Fay. He takes the time to understand your insurance and financial needs. So whatever you're preparing for your child's college education or planning for your retirement, get the kind of help you would expect from a good neighbor. Visit State Farm agent Pete Fay at 431 East Northville Drive, Suite 100 in Brownsburg. And remember, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Back at the arena as the Bulldogs and the Quakers tip off this Hendricks County tournament, and we begin the second quarter with Jordash Mavunga hitting a jumper from the free throw stripe. That increases the Bulldogs' advantage to 15-20-5. Alongside Christopher Worley, I'm Brian Scott. Quakers with the basketball. Turnovers plaguing Plainfield there in that first quarter as Keegan Motter drives. Now he picks up his dribble, sends it outside. Driving with the basketball was Reese Crawford, and once again, here's a steal by Darian Ringo. Ball is still loose on the court. We got people flying all over the place, and finally whistles will stop, and we'll have a held ball with the possession arrow favoring the Plainfield Quakers.
Quite a scrum there on the floor. Boy, those players are going for it, giving total effort, so that's good to see by both sides. It will be Plainfield ball on the possession arrow here. Almost another steal for the Brownsburg defense, just the ball got loose after that.
On the court for the Quakers is Max Kurkowski, inbounds to Nathan Mills. Mills, right-hand runner in the lane, shot no good. Rebounded by Dalton Vachon. Kurkowski, Nathan Mills, Mark Daum, Reese Crawford, and Bryson Ellis, the 5 on the court for the Quakers. For the Bulldogs, Michael Folks, who gives the ball up to KJ Walton. Driving in the lane is Jordash Mavunga with the basketball, and his shot's no good. Mavunga is also joined by Dalton Vachon and Michael Folks. Driving in the lane, Max Kurkowski. His jumper in the lane as he floats through is good. And Max Kurkowski now has 4 points, 20-7, Bulldogs with the lead.
Great move in the middle of the lane there. Max got himself a good shot and able to convert it.
They send the ball into the corner. Driving is Kurtz, gives the Mavunga, and Mavunga with a little right-hand floater. It's up and good. Jordash Mavunga has 6. Bulldogs lead 22-7 with 6:12 left to go first half.
Jordash Mavunga averaging 9 points a game now for the Brownsburg Bulldogs. He is their second leading scorer. KJ on the break.
Another steal as KJ Walton flushes it down with 2 hands. This time it was Michael Folks coming away with the steal. The long outlet to KJ, and KJ finishes it with a 2-hand flush. Surprisingly, that's Walton's first bucket of the night.
I was going to say.
But the Bulldogs lead 24-7 as another 30-second timeout by Coach Andy Weaver, who just is now watching his team. Can't really even get into their offensive flow. Just simply too many turnovers. The Bulldogs all season long have been a very good defensive team. Probably their biggest letdown was Saturday night against Pike, but they've ratcheted up that defensive intensity, and much like they did against Frankfort last Friday, active hands and active in the passing lanes.
Exactly right there, Brian. A good crowd on this cold, frigid night for both squads. A lot of Plainfield people showed up. Brownsburg, of course, brought a good crowd. We do see the Tri-West basketball team, the Avon basketball team, who will play Game 2 here tonight, watching from the stands.
6 minutes left to go in this first half. Bulldogs well out in front, 24-7. They'll drop into the 2-3 zone as the Quakers have the basketball. Crawford moves around to Ellis. Down into the corner, Kurkowski. Here's another steal by the Bulldogs. This time, K.J. Walton. Nice bounce pass. Finds Landon Hall cutting to the basket. And the Bulldogs once again turn to steal into points in transition. They lead 26-7.
I have Plainfield now with 10 turnovers here in the first half.
They had over 20, closer to 25 in that game against Perry Meridian back on December 30th. And a game that pretty much said all you needed to know. Here's Max Kurkowski. His fadeaway jumper from about 18 feet is no good, but a putback by Nathan Mills as Nathan has his first bucket of the night. It's 26-9.
Nathan using his height and reach there to get that rebound and just put it right back in for the Plainfield Quakers. They needed that basket. They'd like to get a turnover of their own here if they can force one on defense.
Bulldogs in the lane. Michael Folks high off the glass, shot no good, and Mills skies for the rebound and brings it down for Plainfield. Gives it to Daum. Daum out to Kurkowski. 3-ball from the corner. That's off, and getting the rebound is Landon Hall, and a whistle will stop play as a foul is going to be committed by the Quakers as Hall was double-teamed by Ellis and Daum. They will credit the foul to Mark Daum, his first team foul number 3 against Plainfield as Keegan Motter comes in. He'll come in for Daum, who departs.
Landon Hall, just 6'3", a sophomore for Brownsburg, but he is actually the third rebounder behind KJ Mavunga. So Landon Hall able to operate down low at just his size of 6'3". He's a very smart player and a good shooter from outside, although his percentage belies that a little bit.
Here's Landon Hall, left wing, as the Quakers stay in the 2-3 zone. He'll give it up to Darian Ringo, back to Hall, down in the corner. He finds KJ at the left elbow, but they kick it back out, and now Darian Ringo. Skip pass over to Michael Folks. Folks finds KJ left elbow. Bounce pass to Ringo. Cutting through the lane. Lost it briefly. But Darian, good concentration, picks the ball up, puts it in the bucket. Darian has 12 points, and it's a 19-point Bulldogs advantage with 3:59 left to go in the first half.
Darian averaging just 8.8 points per game coming into this, so he's well over his average in the first half with a couple of those three-pointers really helping his cause.
Keegan Motter near the center jump circle directs traffic as the Bulldogs drop back into a 2-3 zone, almost stolen by Darian Ringo. They'll find Nathan Mills, left elbow. His jumper is up and good.
Beautiful ball movement there by the Quakers. Got a good shot in the middle of the lane for Nathan Mills, and he converts it.
And this time a 30-second timeout called by Steve Lynch. So both teams using early 30s here in this first half, as both teams have actually used up their allotment of 30-second timeouts. So kind of odd to see that with 3:37 left to go in the first half. Both teams are now out of 30-second timeouts. Each team has a full allotment of 3 full timeouts left. But right now the Bulldogs, quick hands, great defense, leading to easy transition buckets, and they have that 28-11 lead.
And that timeout by Coach Lynch, yes, Brownsburg has shown great defense so far, but even a momentary defensive lapse he will not stand for, and he saw a couple there that have led to a couple of his timeouts. Brownsburg with the ball inbounds, 3:36 left, second quarter. Jimmy
Sims now into the ball game for the Bulldogs as Darian Ringo has the ball between the circles, left side to Michael Folks. They're joined by KJ, but Ringo drives, kicks it out. Folks for 3 from the wing. That one's off the glass, or off the rim, no good. And Nathan Mills has another rebound for the Quakers. It is Mills, Crawford, Motter, Ellis, and Kurkowski. Here is Crawford. He drives to the hoop. His shot's no good, and as Kurkowski goes up for the rebound, we'll have a foul called against the Bulldogs.
Nice drive there by Reese Crawford. He needs to score a little bit. He is Plainfield's third leading scorer at 6.6 points per game. He's going to come out of the lineup right now, but that was a good drive to set that up, and Plainfield will inbounds underneath their own basket.
Jimmy Sims with the foul. The lob from Kurkowski to Mills works to perfection, and Mills gets the bucket. He was scoreless in the first quarter. He has 6 here in the second. But the Bulldogs lead 28-13, under 3 minutes left to go. Here's KJ. Bounce pass over to Jordash Mavunga right in front of the hoop. And it's another easy basket for the Bulldogs as Mavunga now has 8 points and the Bulldogs lead is 17.
KJ Walton showing a little versatility in his game here for Brownsburg. That's at least his 3rd or 4th good bounce pass and an assist on a Brownsburg bucket.
Bulldogs using a lot of dribble drive penetration, and as the double teams come, they're finding the open man right there in the low post and getting easy buckets. Whole host of substitution. Here's Nathan Mills on the lob pass from Motter. Mills couldn't finish it. It's tapped out. The shot by Bryson Ellis was no good. He put it back up. He couldn't get the bucket again, but Max Kurkowski follows it, and the Quakers, with a little bit of stick-to-itiveness, get the bucket. They trail 30-15.
It's a good shot fake by Max there underneath the bucket. He had Brownsburg defenders surrounding him, but a good shot fake got him open for the layup.
Kyler Nichols comes in for Keegan Motter, and a whole host of Bulldogs come in. Is Dalton Vachon, Tyler Kurtz, Michael Folks is joined with Landon Hall, and Darian Ringo. Those are the 5 on the court for the Bulldogs.
Of course, in tournament play, if you can get some rest for your star players and mix in, use a lot of your players, it would help as games go on. Of course, that's the way Brownsburg looks at it right now, but there's still a long way to go in this game.
Bulldogs up 30-15, 1:44 left to go in this first half. They get it to Kurtz. Kurtz to Hall in the near corner. Back to Kurtz over at the left wing. Quakers stay in this 2-3 zone. Nichols, Kurkowski, Mills, Ellis, and Brenz. Kurtz gives it to Folks. Folks steps inside the line, the three-point line, but overshot the basket. Kurkowski with the rebound. Nichols quickly up. Here is a 3-ball on its way. Bryson Ellis, no good, but a nice putback by Connor Brenz. Connor has 5, and they've trimmed it now to just a 13-point deficit at 30-17.
Oddly enough, the Plainfield Quakers winning the rebound battle in this game. I have them up in rebounds 15-8 and a steal by Plainfield.
Well, it was Kyler Nichols with a very nice attempted steal. Tried to save it before running into the scorer's table, but the ball will go back to the Bulldogs as substitutions now being made. Mark Dahm comes in for Connor Brenz, and looks like Adrian Chapman has come in, I believe, for Tyler Kurtz.
Plainfield settling down a little bit, trying to get some good shots on offense, which they have these last few possessions.
Here's Darian Ringo. He drives, lays it up, and he got right around Bryson Ellis. And Darian Ringo has 14 points. We have 45 seconds left to go first half. 32-17, the Bulldogs lead.
Ringo, his best scoring half of the season so far here. Plainfield really having trouble matching up to his quickness.
They get the ball into Nathan Mills as he gets the pass from Max Kurkowski, an immediate whistle, and a foul is going to be called against the Bulldogs. That one's going to go against Adrian Chapman. That's his first, team foul number 3. Both teams with 3 team fouls apiece. 32.8 seconds remain in this first half. Mills gets the inbound, looks for Kurkowski, who was posting up on the blocks, but then sends it over to Mark Dahm at the wing. Dahm picks up his dribble. Now looking to get the ball. He finds Nathan Mills, and Mills from about 14 feet out hits the jumper. For Mills, he now has 8 points as Darian Ringo gets it into the front court. 12 seconds left. Driving through the lane, getting the bucket is KJ Walton as he just took a trip right down the middle of the lane, and Walton now has 4 points. Here's Kurkowski. 3 from the wing, no good. And as the rebound comes into the hands of Adrian Chapman, the buzzer sounds. And that's the end of a very, very fast-moving first half of action. After a half a play here at the O-Arena at Avon, the Bulldogs lead the Quakers 34-19. We'll be back in a few moments with some halftime thoughts. This is Bulldogs and Quakers basketball on 1610 AM XRB and AudioSportsOnline.com.
We'd like to thank Raymond's Alignment Service in Plainfield for being a proud sponsor of Plainfield Quaker basketball. Raymond's Alignment Service is Plainfield's complete auto and truck repair center since 1995. You can visit them at 3828 Clarks Creek Road in Plainfield or give them a call at 317-838-7112. That's Raymond's Alignment Service in Plainfield. Ivy Tech Community College offers a high-quality, high-value college education. Ivy Tech is the place to start a career or further your education. Even if you're planning to pursue a bachelor's degree, Ivy Tech's quality education is recognized statewide, so our credits transfer. Ivy Tech has a campus in Crawfordsville near I-74 at US 231. Complete your free application at ivytech.edu/apply now or call 888-IVY-LINE. Get started now on a brighter future at Ivy Tech. Prestwick Pet Sitters and owner Dawn Crawford is a proud sponsor of the Plainfield Quakers basketball team. Prestwick Pet Sitters has been in business for over 20 years, servicing Plainfield, Avon, and Danville, specializing in home pet care for all types of pets, from Angora rabbits to zebrafish and all the cats and dogs in between. Visit PrestwickPetSitters.com or call 745-9900 to learn more or schedule an appointment before your next trip. That's PrestwickPetSitters.com.
Diamonds are forever.
Now is the perfect time to revive your precious heirlooms that have been lying around your jewelry box with a new unique mounting, either a ring or necklace in platinum, 18 karat or 14 karat gold. Let Nelson Jewelers in Brownsburg bring new life into that much regarded but outdated diamond jewelry that you haven't worn in years. Nelson Jewelers in Brownsburg have been creating special, unique designs since 1958 and would love to create one just for you. You can be assured that the professionals at Nelson Jewelers with over 100 years of combined experience will take the utmost care of your precious stones, since the Nelson Jewelers has their own shop right upstairs. Nelson Jewelers are certified gemologists of the American Gem Society. Nelson Jewelers, 22 East Main Street in Brownsburg. A little out of the way, very much out of the ordinary.
Diamonds are forever.
Whether you're looking to buy a new home or need to refinance an existing mortgage, J.P. Brenz and Caliper Home Loans can help you with all your mortgage financing needs, including conventional, FHA, VA, and USDA loans. Contact JP today at 550-2116. That's JP Brenz and Caliper Home Loans.
Back at the O Arena, halftime as the 12th-ranked Bulldogs lead the Plainfield Quakers by the score 34-19. Alongside Christopher Worley, I'm Brian Scott. Game one of the boys Hendricks County basketball tournament. Game two to follow this. We'll have the Tri-West Bruins undefeated on the year taking on the host Avon Orioles. The winners of these two games will play Friday. The winner of this game will play the Cascade Cadets Friday beginning at 6 o'clock. And the winner of our nightcap game will play the Danville Warriors beginning at 8 o'clock. The losers of both of these games will meet each other Saturday for fifth place. That game would tip off at noon. The girls' Hendricks County tournament tipped off last night. Game one saw the host Avon Orioles defeat the Cascade Cadets 52-38, while the Brownsburg Lady Bulldogs, they fell to the Plainfield Quakers by the score of 51-49. The tournament will resume. The girls' tournament will resume tomorrow night here at Avon. The Tri-West Bruins will play the host Avon Orioles, while the Danville Warriors will take on the Plainfield Quakers. The fifth place game will take place on Saturday beginning at 10 a.m., and that'll be Cascade taking on the Brownsburg Bulldogs. Well, of course, as Chris and I mentioned, a big Hendricks County tournament, especially on the boys' side. A lot of people might have thought going into this, and probably deservedly so, that the Brownsburg Bulldogs might be the prohibitive favorite. That might not be the case. The Tri-West Bruins are undefeated this season under Coach Adam Bontrager. They are 7-0. Granted, they had two games that they postponed due to their winning the state football championship. They'll have to be made at a later date. But the Bruins are 7-0 and playing some excellent basketball. They are currently, I believe, ranked about 12th in Class A, or Class 3A, coming in. Actually, they're ranked 11th. But the Danville Warriors, they've also played some very, very good basketball. They're 8-1, and they are ranked 15th. Good showings by either of those clubs, especially Tri-West, could vault one of those two teams into the Class 3A top 10. And as I bring in my broadcast partner, Christopher Worley, Chris and I kind of briefly messaged back and forth today that the Bulldogs might be the prohibitive favorite in some people's mind, but Tri-West and Danville, they're playing excellent basketball.
Sure are, Brian. And, I'm looking forward to this second game tonight, Tri-West versus Avon. Of course, Tri-West a 3A school, Avon 4A, you would think, well, Avon's got a little advantage, but that's probably not the case. Tri-West scores a lot of points, Brian. They are almost at 90 points a game, 88 points a game or so. Avon struggled offensively and letting up almost 70 points on defense, so we'll give Avon Tri-West just a slight favorite there. Of course, Brownsburg's path to at least the semifinals looks good because they will have to play Cascade their next game if they get past Plainfield here, which they certainly look to do. And then, of course, Danville waiting for the winner of that Tri-West Avon game. So either way, the bottom half of this bracket with those three teams, Tri-West, Avon, Danville, looks very interesting.
A semifinal matchup with Tri-West and Danville would be an excellent game. Those two teams, of course, coming out of the Sagamore Conference, they will meet each other later on this season. But what could be an early season matchup for possibly the Sagamore Conference Championship might take place here Friday night here in the Hendricks County semifinals, should Tri-West be able to get past Avon. Again, we were kind of talking back and forth. Tri-West ranked 11th in Class 3A. A win Friday night, assuming they could get past Avon, that would likely vault Tri-West into the top 10 regardless of what would happen in a likely championship matchup with what we would assume would be the Brownsburg Bulldogs. Danville would probably, with that one loss on the record, need wins against Tri-West and possibly Brownsburg to get themselves into the top 10. But either way you look at it, this is going to be a pretty interesting Hendricks County tournament. The Bulldogs of all the teams probably have the easier path to a possible championship game here at the arena Saturday night at 8 o'clock, whereas Chris mentioned that bottom half of the bracket, that is going to be very, very difficult. When we come back, we'll give you our little bit of some stats here and second half action. This is high school basketball on 1610 AM XRB and audiosportsonline.com.
When plumbing problems arise, do you want a plumbing company with an impressive truck or fancy jingles? Well, of course not. You want your problem solved quickly and at an affordable price. At Westside Plumbing, we understand you want a plumber who is honest, respectful, and knows how to fix the problem. Westside Plumbing provides fast, professional plumbing service 7 days a week. When you invite Westside Plumbing into your home, be assured they'll be knowledgeable, timely, and will give your home the respect it deserves. Honesty, integrity, and respect. That's what you get when you call Westside Plumbing at 445-8399. That's 445-8399. Westside Plumbing, serving Brownsburg and all of Hendricks County. 445-8399.
We all have a guy, but who's your guy? Jeremiah P. Whip State Farm Agency in Plainfield next to Popeye's Chicken is a proud supporter of Plainfield basketball. Jeremiah specializes in life insurance and retirement maximization. Call 839-3322 or go to who'syourguy.net to contact Jeremiah today. That's Jeremiah P. Whip State Farm Agency in Plainfield.
When you're trying to promote your website, the internet can sometimes seem like a hit-and-miss situation. There's search engine optimization, keywords, and don't forget your social media. At Internet Tech Specialists, they understand these things and can make a difference in your World Wide Web presence. Go to InternetTechSpecialist.com for more information or look for their banner on the XRB website. Internet Tech Specialist, your full-service IT strategist.
Welcome back to the arena at Avon High School. Second half action about ready to get underway as the Brownsburg Bulldogs lead the Plainfield Quakers 34-19. Let's take a quick look at our first half stats. Leading all scorers with 14 points is Darian Ringo. 8 points from Jordash Mavunga. 5 points from Landon Hall. 4 points from KJ Walton. 3 points for Tyler Kurtz. That's what it looks like on the Bulldogs side of the ledger. On the Quakers side, 8 points from Nathan Mills, all of them there in that second quarter. 6 points from Max Kurkowski, 5 points from Connor Brenz, and as the score might indicate, tough sledding for the Quakers. They only scored 19 points in that first half from 3 players. Turnovers, that's been the key in this game. It's really cost the Quakers, and the Bulldogs will have the basketball to begin this third quarter, moving left to right as it is on the court. Ringo, Walton, Hall, Kurtz, and Mavunga, the starting 5. Hall's 3 is no good. Kurkowski with a rebound as Kyler Nichols will pull it up, and Landon Hall trying to go for the strip, but he's going to end up being called for the foul. It is Nichols, Max Kurkowski. Bryson Ellis gets the start here to begin the third quarter. Nathan Mills and Connor Brenz, the 5 on the court for head coach Andy Weaver.
Plainfield able to make a little traction in that second quarter. They were only outscored 16-14, whereas in the first quarter outscored 18-5. And playing a little better here on offense.
And it really looked like the Quakers were going to be run out of the gym. Here's Landon Hall. Fall away floater is no good. Mavunga with a rebound gets it into the hands of Ringo. Ringo, no look pass. Kurtz for 3. High arcing shot. Misses everything. And I'm sure that Tyler will probably say that was a pass intended for Jordash Mavunga. But Mavunga takes the ball and puts it in. And he now has 10 points. And the Bulldogs lead 36-19.
Yeah, Kurtz with a smile at that play as he was coming back on defense.
Here's Connor Brenz, gives the ball to Kurkowski, out. 3 ball on the way, no good by Bryson Ellis. Bulldogs with a rebound. Kurtz, touch pass over to Ringo. Ringo gets the bucket, and he comes down limping a little bit on that right foot. Darian finishes it off, and we'll have a timeout on the court, and we'll take a timeout as well. 6:49 left to go in quarter number 3. Bulldogs lead 38-19. Back in a moment. This is high school basketball on XRB and ASO.
If you're a business owner with or without employees, you're probably wondering about your payroll. Is it being prepared correctly? Are the right amount of taxes being taken out? What about child support, workman's comp, auditing, unemployment, Social Security, local taxes, payroll deductions? It can be a bit overwhelming, but we've got the answer for you. The Payroll Department Incorporated will take care of all those payroll headaches and manage any unique deductions that apply to your company. We offer several ways to submit your payroll and provide you with customized timesheets for reporting. The Payroll Department Incorporated, located at 701 North Green Street in Brownsburg.
Does Wings Etc. have great wings? Sure, but wait, there's more. So much more than award-winning jumbo wings. Stop past our new location in Plainfield at 1818 East Main Street, just west of Kroger, and you'll get a great big taste of what the Etc. and Wings Etc. is all about. You can call 406-3250 to place your to-go order today. That's Wings Etc. at 1818 East Main Street in Plainfield.
What is a good neighbor?
Another turnover leads to a timeout by Coach Andy Weaver, and the Bulldogs lead is back to their largest of the night at 19 as Nathan Mills makes a move. We're going to have a foul called, I believe, on Jordash Mavunga as he went for the strip. And for Jordash, that's his first, but the second team foul against the Bulldogs.
Scary proposition for Plainfield is that Brownsburg a lot of times is a good second half team. They make good adjustments, Coach Lynch and his staff at halftime, to improve their performance over the first half, oftentimes in their games.
Kurkowski with a nice ball fake, but lost it and has to send it back out to Nathan Mills. Mills works from the corner in the lane, leans into the shot, and Nathan gets it to fall. He's now in double figures with 10 points. 38-21 is our score. Alongside Christopher Worley, I'm Brian Scott. 6:17 left to go third quarter. Bulldogs with the basketball, may move left or right in the second half. Bulldogs in the black with the purple numerals. Quakers in the white with the red numerals. Opening game of the Hendricks County Tournament. Skip pass over to the corner. Here's KJ. Long range 3 on its way, but it's no good. Mills clears the rebound as he gets another board for the Quakers. Here's Kurkowski from about 14 feet out from the baseline, and Max Kurkowski now has 8 points.
Really, after that first quarter, Plainfield playing pretty even with the Brownsburg Bulldogs here in this game.
Bulldogs were up by 19 at one point in that second quarter, only to watch Plainfield make a move. Here's a nice baseline drive by KJ Walton. And we're going to have, I believe, a delay of game warning against KJ as he knocked the ball out of bounds.
This is what I kind of expect here in this third quarter at least, is KJ to try and create more of his own shots. His scoring was way down over normal in that first half. So he's a superior athlete to most of the players on this floor. You might see him try to create more of his own shot here and score more in the third quarter.
Bulldogs now into that 1-3-1 zone. Here's a steal by Darian Ringo, another steal. No-look pass to KJ, and KJ had thoughts of going up maybe with a right-hand slam, but forgot just kind of carried the ball on his hip, and he's called for the traveling violation as Landon Hall will come into the game and come out of the game. Dalton Vachon enters as the Bulldogs have a 17-point lead at 40-23 with 5:10 left to go third quarter. Quakers get it into the front court. Here's Mills, the left wing, looking over that 1-3-1 zone. They get it to Bryson Ellis. Ellis over to Kyler Nichols. Back over to Ellis, right wing, drives, kicks it out to Kurkowski in the far corner. And now the pass to Mills is broken up by none other than Darian Ringo once again. And the Bulldogs have the basketball off another Quaker turnover.
Yeah, Darian definitely looking for the steal on that possession. His eyes get big when he sees that ball floating around the perimeter, and he's ready to make those steals.
Quakers stay in that 2-3 zone as they'll give the ball to Ringo on the right wing, back over left side to KJ. Walton with the basketball, now backs it out, back over to Ringo. 4:30 left to go third quarter. Bulldogs with a 40-23 advantage, and this time Ringo, he was looking for Dalton Vachon cutting baseline and simply threw it over the big guy's head and out of bounds, and the turnover gives the ball to Plainfield as Reese Crawford comes in for he comes in for Bryson Ellis. So it is Crawford, Nichols, Kurkowski, Brenz, and Mills are the five on the court for Coach Andy Weaver's Plainfield Quakers. They trail by 17 with 4:18 left to go third quarter. Kurkowski in the corner finds Mills from the right elbow. Jumper's on its way. It's no good. Rebounded by Adrian Chapman, who has come into the game. He finds Darian Ringo. Ringo takes it in, leaves it for KJ, but KJ left it short on the rim. Kurkowski with a rebound. He finds Brenz. It is Kyler Nichols for three from the wing. Shot no good. Kurkowski with a rebound, and the putback is over the rim, but a whistle and a foul as Bulldogs are going to be called for their fourth team foul of the third quarter.
Good work there by Max. He is 6'6", of course, but doesn't weigh that much, but he got up there with his height and got that rebound. I think Darian a little unselfish on the other end, tried to get a pass over to KJ when he could have actually just laid that ball right in himself. But unselfishness by Darian, but the Bulldogs were not able to convert on the pass.
Kurkowski hits the first free throw. Foul was against Adrian Chapman. That's his second as Darian Ringo will take a seat. He's had an excellent game, 16 points and more steals than I can count off of the top of my head, and he takes a seat as Kurkowski's second free throw rims out, and Mavunga has the rebound. He'll give it to Walton. Walton into the front court, now drives right through the lane, lays it up off the glass. He was fouled on his way to the cup, but they'll say it was before the shot. This is the first team foul against the Quakers, but it's a costly one. It's the third personal foul against Connor Brenz. And actually they will credit Walton with going up with a shot, so KJ at the line for two free throws, and first one takes its time rolling around the rim, but it drops.
Walton coming in a 71% free throw shooter, and that's what he's excellent at doing, though, Brian, is creating those fouls by driving the lane. He's an excellent slasher and driver to the basket.
Not a whole lot of free throws by either team in this game. The Bulldogs are now 3 of 3 from the line, while the Quakers are now 2 of 4. As Crawford will get it into Max Kurkowski. Mark Dahm now into the game for Kyler Nichols. And they get the ball to Nathan Mills at the wing, and the Bulldogs back to that 1-3-1 zone. At the elbow is Brenz. He finds Mills. Double team comes in the corner, and it's going to be poked out of bounds. Darian Ringo once again has a hand in there to poke it away as Mills was trapped down in the corner as the double team came. He tried to give it to Brenz at the left elbow, but Darian poked it out of bounds, and Kurkowski will inbound from the sidelines. Gives it over to Mark Dahm. Dahm to Kurkowski in the near corner. Over to Crawford. Crawford. Now he gets trapped, but he finds Mark Dahm. Dahm, he finds Brenz at the free throw line. Gives it to Mills. Mills, follow-away jumper from about 8 feet out. Nathan Mills now has 12 points. 42-26, the Bulldogs lead with 3:10 left to go in the third quarter.
Nathan Mills, a very good shot right there. He had pressure on him. Adrian Chapman for the Bulldogs all over him. Mills able to rise up and convert that field goal.
Nathan Mills doesn't take too many easy shots. When you watch him, he's taking every shot with difficulty. No difficulty right there as KJ Walton hits just in front of the three-point line. For KJ, he has now got 10 points in this contest. And here is
another steal, Brian.
Another steal, and the Bulldogs come the other way. They'll kick it out. Here's
Dalton.
Dalton Vachon from the free throw line, used every bit of the rim, and Dalton got it to drop. And The Bulldogs have their biggest lead of the game, 20 points, 46-26. 2:25 left to go third quarter.
Good to see Dalton convert that unusual shot from the big guy. Took that from beyond the free throw stripe, able to hit it.
Here's Mark Dahm. Nice find. Connor Brand's driving baseline. Good job by Nathan Mills to get the ball to Dahm as we quickly go back the other way, and a foul is going to be called as Darian Ringo is going to head to the free throw line.
Tell you something we're seeing on both sides tonight, some good bounce passes. High school basketball now, we don't see as many good fundamental bounce passes as we used to, but seeing them now tonight as the Danville Warriors make their way into the gym, do a little scouting for their next game.
Darian Ringo hits the free throw. Bulldogs remain perfect from the charity stripe, 4 of 4. Mark Dahm was hit with his second personal. That is the second team foul against Plainfield here in the second half. Darian with one more free throw on the way, and he sinks them both. 18 points for Darian Ringo, and the Bulldogs' advantage is back to 20 as we approach 2 minutes left to go in this third quarter.
Nice to see Darian hit both those. He came in just as a 35% foul shooter so far. Hadn't shot a lot of free throws, and now we get a turnover with the double dribble against Plainfield. Brownsburg will inbounds from the east side.
Keegan Motter, who had just entered the contest, he was being harassed by Darian Ringo. Ringo, more so than anything, forced that double dribble as Motter had to quickly pick up the basketball and put it right back down again, and he's called for the double dribble. Bulldogs up by 20. They drive. Nice find, Jimmy Sims from Michael Folks, and Sims completes it for his first bucket, and it's a 22-point Brownsburg lead, 50-28. Dahm with the basketball. He has the trap come. He finds Brenz at the free throw line. Brenz shot no good, rimmed out. Kurkowski gets the rebound, but then throws it away, trying to save it. Here's Ringo. Ringo tried to get a little too fancy, and it was saved. Michael Folks was able to save it inbounds over to Tyler Kurtz. So the Bulldogs managed to save the basketball as Darian tried to maybe get a little too fancy there and do it behind the back. Here's a three ball on the way by Folks. Shot no good. Bulldogs get the rebound. Here's Darian down low, finds Jordash Mavunga, and Mavunga finishes with the bucket.
Jordash having a nice season for himself now. He's Brownsburg's second leading scorer, their leading rebounder. He's doing a good job here in addition to KJ's all his scoring. Nice thing to see here for the Brownsburg fans is other people getting involved there, not relying on KJ to do all the scoring this game.
52-28, the Bulldogs with the lead. 39 seconds remain in the quarter. Brenz was looking for Dahm, stolen by Mavunga, almost poked away by Brenz, but Mavunga chases it down and gives it over to Michael Folks, who gives it over to Jimmy Sims. Sims back to Folks between the circles. Bulldogs look like they're going to want to hold for the final shot. Folks to Ringo over on the right side. 16 seconds, and Bulldogs in no hurry. They'll play for the final shot, up 52-28. Ringo now between the circles, makes his move with 7 seconds, 6 seconds. Darian dribbles in the lane, kicks it out. Three ball on its way, shot by Sims, no good. Rebounded by Mills, but Nathan can't do anything with it, and as the buzzer sounds, we will head to the fourth quarter with the Bulldogs leading the Quakers 52-28. Back with the fourth quarter right after this. This is high school basketball on XRB and ASO.
What is a good neighbor? Well, it's someone nearby who helps make your life a little easier, and that's State Farm agent Pete Fay. He takes the time to understand your insurance and financial needs. So whatever you're preparing for your child's college education or planning for your retirement, get the kind of help you would expect from a good neighbor. Visit State Farm agent Pete Fay at 431 East Northfield Drive, Suite 100 in Brownsburg. And remember, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
We'd like to thank Raymond's Alignment Service in Plainfield for being a proud sponsor of Plainfield Quaker basketball. Raymond's Alignment Service is Plainfield's complete auto and truck repair center since 1995. You can visit them at 3828 Clarks Creek Road in Plainfield or give them a call at 317-838-7112. That's Raymond's Alignment Service in Plainfield.
Back at the Arena alongside Christopher Worley, I'm Brian Scott. 8 minutes of basketball left to be played in this tip-off to the boys' Hendricks County tournament between the 12th-ranked Brownsburg Bulldogs and the Plainfield Quakers. It's been all Bulldogs since pretty much the opening tip. They lead 52-28. Darian Ringo, he's been the big star for the Bulldogs in this game, 18 points. He had 14 at the half, and the Bulldogs have their biggest lead as they lead 52-28.
Both Ringo and Walton sitting on the bench here to start the fourth quarter. That's very unusual to see, but a good chance to rest those guys.
Kurkowski with a turnaround jumper at the free throw line. He misses it. The Bulldogs come away with a rebound. Aaron Head now into the game. As he misses the layup, he'll get the rebound, and it's going to be a tie-up between Aaron Head and Connor Brenz, and the possession arrow will favor the Bulldogs. Let's set up the lineups. As I mentioned, Bulldogs have the basketball. Aaron Head, he will give it to Jimmy Sims, I believe, who just triggered the inbounds, and he triggered it right off of Jordash Mavunga, but they'll say it was touched by a Quakers, so the Bulldogs will retain possession. So Jimmy Sims, Aaron Head, Darian Ringo, Michael Folks, and Jordash Mavunga, the five on the court for Brownsburg. For Plainfield, Kyler Nichols, Mike Skurkowski, Connor Brentz, Nathan Mills, and Mark Dahm. That's their starting five. Bulldogs with the basketball. Here's Mavunga. Left side of the lane, floats through the lane with a right hand. Shot no good, gets his own rebound, misses it. But there with the putback, I believe, was Michael Folks, as Michael gets his first bucket, and the Bulldogs lead 54-28. Kyler Nichols with the basketball, skip pass over. I think he was looking for Max Kurkowski, but Kurkowski had made a move to the hoop, and he ended up with Nichols throwing the basketball away, and the turnover again gives the Bulldogs the basketball right back.
Yeah, and I have Plainfield now with 18 turnovers for the game, Brian. So that certainly didn't help their cause. That's something we talked about on the way in. They're going to have to try to avoid that. You knew Brownsburg defense was going to create some of those turnovers, but Plainfield, too many self-errors or too many self-enforced turnovers.
Walton back into the game. Skip pass over the top. Driving, Folks, Sims, he loses the basketball. Ball is still loose, and they'll say it went off of a Bulldog. So Aaron Head getting some minutes here for the Bulldogs, and he's doing so with a few of the starters on the court. Darian Ringo, KJ Walton, Tyler Kurtz all on the court. So we've seen Aaron in some mop-up action during the season, but getting some minutes here with a few of the starters on the court. Bulldogs lead 54-28, 6:18 left to go in the fourth quarter. Nathan Mills, turnaround jumper in the lane right in front of the free throw line. Shot won't drop, but he's going to earn a trip to the line.
I like the way Nathan's still working here. You know, Plainfield pretty much out of this game. He's still working hard without the ball, trying to get himself open, and he did just below the free throw line, right in the lane there. Got a good shot up, couldn't convert it, but he will go to the line here.
Aaron Head with his first personal 14 foul against the Brownsburg Bulldogs, and Nathan Mills heads to the line for his first free throws of the night. The first one hits back iron, no good. As re-entering the lineup will be Bryson Ellis. He'll come in for Mark Dahm.
A little bit surprising that Nathan Mills is only a 64% foul shooter. We think of Nathan as a good shooter, but having trouble at the foul line this year a little bit.
He splits the free throws. That was the first miss for Brownsburg tonight. They were 5 of 5 entering this quarter, and now they are 6 of 7. 54-29, Bulldogs with the lead. 6:02 left to go in the ball game. Jimmy Sims with the basketball finds Head, who gives it to Darian Ringo, who retreats back between the circles. Now drives, right side, drives in the lane. Nice fake, sends it out to the corner. Three on its way is up and good, and that's Aaron Head. KJ Walton with the three from the corner. 57-29, 5:38 left to go. Connor Brenz with the basketball in the corner, now sends it over to Kyler Nichols. Bulldogs, nice lob as Nichols was looking for Kurkowski, but it was broken up by KJ. KJ with the basketball sends it on up to Darian, and Darian will retreat near the left wing.
Yeah, Max called for that ball from the point guard, and a nice lofty pass. He didn't expect KJ to get back there and steal that pass away.
Bulldogs move it around the perimeter with a big lead and time on their side. Darian with a nice little stutter step sends it out. Three ball by Jimmy Sims from the corner is no good, but the rebound comes down to Tyler Kurtz. Kurtz goes up, it's blocked by Nathan Mills into the hands of Kyler Nichols, but Nichols loses the basketball. Darian Ringo picks it up, loses it, finds KJ. KJ just with a little shovel pass to Tyler Kurtz, and Kurtz will put it in for the bucket.
Very unselfish, all the Bulldogs here tonight. They're passing off to their teammates when they might have an opportunity to shoot. Unselfish game by by Brownsburg here, and they lead 59-29.
Kurkowski with a little bit of a ball fake, can't get the jumper to go. Connor Brands gets the loose ball. His shot's no good. Kurtz comes with a rebound, loses it briefly, but K.J. Walton picks it up. He'll send it over to the corner to Darian Ringo. Ringo right side, little jab step, sends it back out. Here's KJ, and KJ went up. It wasn't blocked. If you might have seen it later at some point, he just simply lost the ball. He went back as if it was blocked, but it just slipped right out of his hands.
Not an Indiana All-Star moment for KJ right there. It did just slip out of his hands there, Brian. You're going to see a host of substitutions come in right now for Brownsburg.
Josiah Grant now into the game, and he comes in. Will Kesterson, we understand, is not going to be available till sectionals due to a stress fracture. So we give Will all our best and hope he comes back as soon as he's able. But he is currently out for probably the next 4 or 5 weeks at least. And Josiah Grant now in is, again, a host of substitutions. Landon Hall's in, as that shot's no good. Also into the game is Kyle Wolf.
Yeah, Max missed that shot from the corner, and then a loose ball along the sidelines. Will be Brownsburg ball here, though. Yeah, it's a shame about Will Kesterson. Good kid, 3.8 grade point average. Did a lot for the JV team, and he would certainly be in here. He had some varsity playing time, but a host of others here will round out this game for Brownsburg.
So Kyle Wolf, Landon Hall, Josiah Grant, Michael Folks is Hall gives the ball into Dalton Vachon. Vachon can't get the bucket, and the rebound is brought down by Dawson Messer, now in for Plainfield. It's Messer, Brenz, Nathan Mills. Here's Bryson Ellis with a basketball, and Max Kurkowski round out the Quakers on the court as Mills gets the basketball, left wing, guarded by Vachon, makes a move, and he will throw up a prayer. He won't get the bucket. Connor Brand's got the rebound but couldn't get the shot to drop, and the Bulldogs come the other way. Landon Hall, 1-on-2. He took on Max Kurkowski all by himself. Kurkowski got a bit of the ball, but also got a bit of Landon Hall's arm, and Landon Hall's going to head to the free throw line with the Bulldogs up by 30 with 3:03 left to go in the ball game.
Yeah, the 6'3" Landon Hall went ahead and said, Max, I'll take you on at 6'6", and he did draw the foul there on the layup.
So Hall at the line. He has 5 points on the game. This is his.
Oh, no. I was just going to say, he has been perfect on the line this season. I think 14 out of 14. There's his first miss of the year.
And he was 1 for 1 earlier in that first quarter as Connor Brands leaves. So Landon Hall misses his first free throw of the season and miss both of them. So
15 out of 17 for the year.
The Whirly jinx is alive and well.
Brother.
But the Bulldogs with a 30-point lead, 59-29, under 3 minutes left to go in the ball game. Dawson Messer is going to be guarded by Josiah Grant. Gives it over to Nathan Mills. Mills to Bryson Ellis, back to Messer at the right wing. Messer drives. He's swatted away by Hall, picked up by Folks. Folks drives, and he'll lay it up with the right hand.
Michael Folks continues a fine season here for Brownsburg. He played a lot when Darren Ringo was injured, and that gave him a lot of confidence. Michael Folks has really come through with a fine season here at the point guard position for Brownsburg.
They feed the ball into Nathan Mills in the low post, and he's immediately fouled by Dalton Vachon. That's Vachon's first, team foul number 6 against the Bulldogs. As substitutions, Jimmy Sims and Adrian Chapman come in, and it'll be Dalton Vachon and Michael Folks departing. Anthony Bolin is in for the Quakers, and he'll trigger the inbound from the baseline. And now Dawson Messer came through, and let's see who they're going to call the foul against Josiah Grant, and that'll be the 7th team foul. Grant, I thought for a minute there they might have got Messer for driving through.
Grant was kind of just pushed down. He wasn't sure why the foul called on him, but it was, and Plainfield will have the ball underneath their own basket here, or are they going to shoot to
it was the 17 foul, so the bonus is in effect, though everybody was getting ready to inbound it from the baseline, but now they will send Dawson Messer to the free throw line where he will have one, and now the bonus as he makes that first one, and Dawson Messer is in the scoring column. And the Quakers have not hit a field goal here in this fourth quarter, and we still have 2 minutes and 21 seconds remaining. as Coach Weaver is ready to empty the bench himself. Messer completes both free throws. Is now into the lineup will be Gavin Ritter, Jacob Lautenschlager, who's making his first appearance, and also into the ball game for Plainfield. As I will try to get that in a minute. That is a player with.
Yeah, we don't have a have a name on that number. 20.
28 is in the game.
Well, you know who that is? That's Tyler West, I believe. He plays JV for them a lot.
Here is with the bucket is Adrian Chapman, who is into the lineup now. Is a turnaround underneath the basket by by Anthony Boland's no good. And a minute 40 left, 63-31, all Bulldogs right now. And here is a steal by Tyler West.
Mm-hmm.
West drives, gets the bucket, and draws the foul. So Tyler West, who is not even in the program, he's into the lineup, gets the bucket, and he's going to get an and one as being called for the personal foul is Landon Hall. That's his third, team foul number 8. So Tyler West.
Yeah, he's given their JV some good minutes there, and he has played, I believe, just a few minutes at the varsity level there. Missed that free throw.
So it's 63-33, and missing the layup for the Bulldogs was Adrian Chapman. But the Bulldogs get the rebound, and they'll reset their offense. With a minute 15 left, Bulldogs are going to advance. They will play the Cascade Cadets Friday night at 6 o'clock right here at the arena, while Plainfield will await the loser of this game. And driving through the lane, Jimmy Sims gets the bucket and one, as the foul is going to be against Anthony Boland of the Quakers.
You know, you mentioned it, Brian. Avon, a great place to host this tournament. The athletic director, Holsinger, and them do a great job here. This will be a great place, as always, to host the Hendricks County tournament.
Actually, they called Sims for the foul.
Yeah, offensive foul on Sims.
So they had no basket. He got called for the foul, and it remains 63-33 as we try to keep track of who all's in. Here's a three ball by Dawson Messer.
Nice shot.
From the left wing. It drops, and it's 63-36 with 40 seconds remaining in this contest. Plainfield on their way to falling to 2-8 on the year. And again, they'll play the loser of the game following this between Tri-West and Avon. That will be Saturday at noon, as driving through the lane is, I believe, it's Kyle Wolf. Or no, it's Landon Hall. And Hall didn't get the bucket, but a foul is going to be called against Messer of the Quakers. And it's going to send Landon Hall, who has now missed 2 in a row, to the line for 2 more. And he will
start a new streak.
Start a new streak as he hits that first free throw.
Good opportunity here, and Brownsburg's used it to rest a lot of their main players and their starters here in this fourth quarter. Of course, they tend to go 7-8 deep, but the big guys have got to rest here in the fourth quarter.
Landon Hall converts both free throws, 65-36. 25 seconds remain as Tyler West's three ball from the wing's no good, but he gets the loose ball and hands it off to Messer. Messer's three from the corner is up and good. Dawson Messer with a pair of threes. He now has 8 points in the game here in this fourth quarter, but with 4 seconds and clock winding down, that's going to do it, as the Brownsburg Bulldogs will advance to Friday's semifinal, where they will take on the Cascade Cadets. They beat Plainfield 65-39. We'll be back with some final thoughts and stats in just a moment. This is high school basketball on 1610 AM XRB and AudioSportsOnline.com.
Ivy Tech Community College offers a high-quality, high-value college education. Ivy Tech is the place to start a career or further your education. Even if you're planning to pursue a bachelor's degree, Ivy Tech's quality education is recognized statewide, so our credits transfer. Ivy Tech has a campus in Crawfordsville near I-74 at US 231. Complete your free application at ivytech.edu/apply now or call 888-IVY-LINE. Get started now on a brighter future at Ivy Tech. Crestwick Pet Sitters and owner Dawn Crawford is a proud sponsor of the Plainfield Quakers basketball team. Prestwick Pet Sitters has been in business for over 20 years, servicing Plainfield, Avon, and Danville, specializing in home pet care for all types of pets, from Angora rabbits to zebrafish and all the cats and dogs in between. Visit PrestwickPetSitters.com or call 745-9900 to learn more or schedule an appointment before your next trip. That's PrestwickPetSitters.com.
Diamonds are forever.
Now is the perfect time to revive your precious heirlooms that have been lying around your jewelry box with a new unique mounting, either a ring or necklace in platinum, 18 karat or 14 karat gold. Let Nelson Jewelers in Brownsburg bring new life into that much regarded but outdated diamond jewelry that you haven't worn in years. Nelson Jewelers in Brownsburg have been creating special, unique designs since 1958 and would love to create one just for you. You can be assured that the professionals at Nelson Jewelers with over 100 years of combined experience will take the utmost care of your precious stones, since the Nelson Jewelers has their own shop right upstairs. Nelson Jewelers are certified gemologists of the American Gem Society. Nelson Jewelers, 22 East Main Street in Brownsburg. A little out of the way, very much out of the ordinary.
Diamonds are forever.
Brownsburg Bulldogs advance to the semifinals of the Hendricks County Boys Basketball Tournament. They take care of the Plainfield Quakers by the score of 65-39. Alongside Christopher Worley, I'm Brian Scott. Let's give you our final stats for tonight's game. Leading all scorers was for the Bulldogs with 18 points, Darian Ringo, 13 points from KJ Walton, 12 points from Jordash Mavunga, 7 points from Landon Hall, 5 points from Tyler Kurtz, 4 points from Michael Folks, 2 points each from Adrian Chapman, Jimmy Sims, and Dalton Vachon. Aaron Head, Josiah Grant, and Kyle Wolf all played. They did not score. The Bulldogs hit 3 3-point baskets on the evening by 3 different players, and they were a total of 7 of 9 from the charity stripe. For the Plainfield Quakers, they were led by 13 points from Nathan Mills, 9 points from Max Karkowski. Dawson Messer came in and contributed 8 points, all in that fourth quarter. 7 points from Connor Brents. Tyler West had 2 points, and then a whole host of Quakers got in the game. They didn't score, however. Keegan Motter, Anthony Boland, Reese Crawford, Tyler Nichols, Mark Dahm, Jacob Lautenschlager, Bryson Ellis all played. They did not score. The Quakers on the night hit only 2 3-point baskets, both of them by Dawson Messer there in that fourth quarter, and the Quakers were 5 of 9 from the charity stripe. Plainfield falls to 2-8 on the season, while the Bulldogs improve their record to 9-3. The Quakers will play the loser of our game coming up here in about 20 minutes between the Tri-West Bruins and the Avon Orioles, while the Brownsburg Bulldogs will play the Cascade Cadets. That game will be Friday night here at the O-Arena at Avon with a tip-off set for 6 o'clock. So, Chris, when we take a look at this game from both teams' perspective, let's start with the Plainfield Quakers. Something that we saw in their game against Perry Meridian back on December 30th. Eventually, turnovers just proved to be too much for the Quakers to overcome.
Sure did. You got to take care of the ball, especially against a quick, fast team like Brownsburg, that if you don't take care of the ball, they're going to be up the court to the other end and getting layups real quick. Not all of Plainfield's turnovers were forced by the Brownsburg defense, and that's the disappointing part of that. Like you said, they really need to get some better guard play that can take care of that ball, but I know Coach Weaver's going to work hard on it. They got an important schedule coming up again, so tough game for Plainfield here, but as expected, Brownsburg did get the win.
Brownsburg, of course, Darian Ringo, he was pretty much all the Bulldogs needed in that first half. He did it offensively, he did it defensively. Darian had 14 points in that first half, and probably even more so than his offense. It was his defensive prowess, both in steals and just anticipation in the passing lanes, that really got the Bulldogs off to the hot start.
Really was, and here's an unusual thing for Brownsburg fans. He's going to be my star of the game, Darian Ringo, first game of the year that KJ hasn't been. Good strategy here by Brownsburg. Let's get the other guys involved. KJ's not going to have to do it all tonight. We can have him take an off night, if you will. Darian really came through big time. Brownsburg's defense, again, good. This was another take care of business win for Brownsburg. They do not let down against teams they should beat. They tend to take care of business in those situations, and they certainly did that tonight against the Quakers.
So both teams will be still playing one more game in this Hendricks County tournament. For the Bulldogs, they hope to be playing 2 more. But for the Plainfield Quakers, they'll play again on Saturday. They'll take on the loser of this game coming up here between Avon and Tri-West in the 5th place matchup, while the Bulldogs advance to take on Cascade Friday night at 6 o'clock. Our next broadcast of Plainfield Quakers basketball on Audio Sports Online will be next week, January 16th, when the Quakers return to the Red Pride Gymnasium to take on Northview. Chris and I will be back with you. We'll have the pregame at around, I'd say about 7:15, 7:20, and the tip-off between Plainfield and Northview is set for 7:30. Our next broadcast of Brownsburg Bulldogs basketball on 1610 AM XRB and Audio Sports Online won't be until January 30th, and that's when the Bulldogs return to the Varsity Fieldhouse. Well, they will face one of their toughest matchups all season in Hoosier Crossroads Conference play. They will take on the Zionsville Eagles and Derek Smits. That should be an excellent matchup. We'll have all the action for you right here on 1610 AM XRB and Audio Sports Online. Pregame show for that game will begin at 7:15, and the tip-off between the Bulldogs and the Eagles is set for 7:30. Once again, we want to thank Brad Holzinger and the athletic department here at Avon High School for being gracious hosts, as they always are, and want to thank Shane Ray back at XRB. We want to thank Rob Kendall back at Audio Sports Online, my broadcast partner Christopher Worley, and we want to thank you for enjoying high school basketball with us tonight here on 1610 AM XRB and Audio Sports Online. Once again, your final score, the Brownsburg Bulldogs advance in the Hendricks County tournament. They knock off the Plainfield Quakers by the score of 65-39. Until next time, stay warm, and we'll see you next time here on XRB and ASO. Until then, so long, everybody.
Thanks for tuning in to Brownsburg Varsity Basketball on 1610 AM XRB and AudioSportsOnline.com. Tonight's game has been brought to you by Nelson Jewelers, Ivy Tech, West Side Plumbing, the Payroll Department, State Farm Agent Pete Fay, and Internet Tech Specialists. You can catch a free on-demand replay of tonight's game by